Hi, welcome to Practical Boujee. Today I'm taking you inside the Bode. It was a beautiful stay inside an old repurposed building lined with Banksy art. Each step was such a treat because you would look up and there would be the coolest art from this very famous, very secretive, very private artist. They're all obviously prints, not, the authentic Banksys. But later on, we're going to go and see that, and you'll see that in the video, some real Banksys. But we enjoyed just walking the hall and looking at all the art that he has. Super, super cool. But let me take you inside. You're greeted with this gorgeous door. Reminds me of Downing Street because of that gorgeous door. And it's light, it's airy, the ceilings are super high, the comfy sofa is made of real leather, gorgeous. And the reason I wanted to show this to you was because if you stay at the Bode on a weekday and you look at their calendar and what day you want to choose, or if you're on Expedia or something like that, you can compare prices. This particular day was a really unique situation. I was able to get this room for $89 plus tax, which came to $127. And I'll be honest with you, it was bougie and practical for our budget. We were able to bring our food. I brought my own salad fixings. I brought my doggy. Everything I could need was in this kitchen. Glassware, plates. It was modern and it was chic and it was airy and it made you just feel like you're at home, but also special. You're getting this gorgeous view of the city, and I'll be honest, it had everything. TV, the bed was comfy, and it had the really cool design and practical use of a rug as art, and I thought that was really neat with the texture and the colors. I love navy blue. And it had a charging station right by the bed. It was very simple but very comfortable. And as I said, the price was in our budget. It was perfect for us. And that's a practical way to do bougie things and fun, luxurious things that you don't have to pay $300, $200 for. Granted, it may not be convenient to go on a weekday. Oh, side note, this was a dessert we got to split in half. And it was mascarpone, and it was absolutely delicious. We had that for dinner. And I brought my own tomatoes from our garden so that I can make our salad. So all I had to do was bring my lettuce, chop up my salad here at the room, and there we go. I had my salad. I brought my noodles, cooked them here. Everything you need is pots, pans, everything's here. And even had some coffee. Everything was there, and that was perfect for us because we're also trying to watch our health. Brought my spaghetti sauce, my mozzarella, and then set the table. And when it was over with, we had a really healthy, delicious Italian meal. Just a spaghetti, homemade salad. There we go. There's the Queen, Banksy. Excuse this little blank spot right here. And there's another piece of art. He's famous for having shredded that at a Sotheby's auction, some other Banksy art. And that was the Bode, and it was awesome. And no, I'm not getting paid for this. I just want you to know you can do this for a cheap price. The mountains were gorgeous. Now I'm going to take you to a Banksy exhibit in Nashville. It was hard to find, took us a minute, but we finally were able to locate the actual suite it was in, and it's called Banksy Land. He has a lot of tongue-in-cheek things like Dismal Land instead of Disneyland. A lot of very thought-provoking. That's one of his pieces he's most known for. And you might not even know it's Banksy, but it is. And there's so many beautiful pieces that really say a lot. Children, and then then you think about the war and things that are facing our youth today. There are so many pieces that really make you think. This was really cool. It's called Love is in the Air. And it's made of resin, and it's just so beautifully detailed. And Banksy is also a person who doesn't like the monarchy, doesn't like parliament. So later on, I'm going to show you some art of his that was kind of interesting. I thought it was funny. They don't know who he is. He's elusive and doesn't do interviews. He's a secret private man, and we just personally loved his art. We just enjoyed it so much. There were so many cool pieces. This little resin piece of the girl holding the missile, that was something. And just, again, I'm replicating some of the pieces that I've shown you so far, but I also like the building this was in. It was kind of made you feel like you're out, you know, it's like street art, so it was really cool. Anyway, this was a very interesting piece. One, because I'm an Anglophile, I love all things British, so I loved it. And then this was really cool coming up. This was a suitcase or a briefcase full of Lady Di currency. As we know, they called her the Queen of Hearts, and I thought it was a bit of a slap to the Queen, who I also loved, but it was interesting. I thought that was really very, very interestingly done. There were so many beautiful pieces. The way that he captures children and their little faces, and just expressing your art and being a person who loves maximalism and unusual pieces in my decor and just colors and textures. This particular video is for the person who loves all things unusual. There's this piece of Parliament, which my husband and I loved, because at the end of the day, sometimes that's what we think of people in certain positions of power. Sometimes we feel like, hey, you know what? They're just kind of silly. You know, it's a tongue-in-cheek thing. But anyway, I thought this was really an interesting piece, and it was very large. It was very large, and it was very detailed. So we were very surprised and very impressed. We couldn't figure out if this is an apocalyptic horse, but either way, it was really cool. This next piece coming up, this is Kate Moss in that Marilyn Monroe vibe, Pulp Fiction. We both really liked this piece. The Waldorf Hotel, another little play off of the Waldorf Hotel, and you can see that his little feet are shackled. And there's a lot about his work that talks about consumerism, a lot of things about just very thought-provoking. I don't want to give too much of my opinion because I don't like to get into things, but I do. If you're a maximalist, most likely you're an artist at heart and you love things like this. So this is mostly for you. And there was this cool David looking statue-y type thing made of resin, and I thought it was very neat. And there he is right there. And the picture, the piece of Jesus holding the presents and all that was interesting. All right, now we're going to the Graduate Hotel, and not because we're going to stay there, but because we're going to go inside and just absorb the zhuzh, the boujee, the gorgeous atmosphere. And let me just give you a tip. I am famous for doing this. I love to go to beautiful places and grab maybe a $10 dessert or a $5 coffee and just sit and absorb everything around me and just enjoy and be inspired by the colors and the feeling that you get. It's just bougie and it's so fun, but you don't have to spend $500 and stay there that night. You can just go grab a coffee, sit down, have a conversation. I mean, look at the light fixtures. Everything in this place was very thoughtfully put together, extremely well designed. You can see every bit of comfort was considered for many people to walk in. This little area in the back, my husband and I sat there, and these chairs, the texture on the back, I'll show you that in a second.
So but wanted to come to Nashville,
there was beautiful wallpaper, dripping greenery,
gorgeous downstairs,
luscious chairs.
Just to sit here, chat, maybe
they
grab
were
a
just
coffee,
pristine and gorgeous, and there was no place that you couldn't find to sit. It was absolutely stunning. On the corner to the right, there was a bar that you could get coffees and water and whatever you wanted. And the White Limousine is the restaurant that we're going to visit up on the rooftop, but we decided to chill out for a little while,
This is just the
take in
lobby.
the sights. Look at that banquette. It's just gorgeous. It just makes you feel special just going in there. Things about Dolly Parton. It's a Dolly Parton country themed place, and it was just so cool. Look at the design. Look at the lines of the furniture. It just makes you be enveloped by luxury. And luxury isn't just for the rich. It can be just for us, people like myself, just average people. Look at the texture on the back of that wingback chair. Absolutely gorgeous.
You see, it's kind of
It was so unique and so different. It had the plaid on the front
on the side.
and then stripe on the side,
check.
and then the back it just had that unexpected, gorgeous black and white fringe. There's mini pearl when you first walk in, and this is the hall that leads up to the White Limousine. A little bit more just to let you see some more glimpses. Now there is this cool, as I said, there was a bar, and we thought it was tile, but when we looked closer, some cool lights.
Check this out.
Those were pencils. Absolutely the coolest thing. Those are all graduate
the
hotel
bar.
pencils. And they used them as little tiles. Look at the chairs. Oh, everything in there was just gorgeous. And look at the skirt lights. They were cool. It's very kitschy, which I love kitsch. I can't get enough of kitsch. That's me. Little play on Disney's Mickey Mouse and Dolly, and just gorgeous. And then we started to go up to the White Limousine. Upstairs, you have to get a reservation, but you go to resi.com and you have to go, you get a 13-day window, get a reservation, and there you go. So we got in the elevator, which was also very pretty, and we got out, and when we got to the top, the views, which you'll see, were absolutely spectacular. Absolutely spectacular. There was Dolly outside, and now here's the rooftop.
Videotape.
It was a beautiful day. It was just crisp, not too cold. This reservation was for 3 o'clock, and I liked that time because there aren't that many people there. And by the time I finished filming this video, it was absolutely full inside. We decided to go out to the outside part, and there's this very famous sculpture of Dolly Parton in the corner, which people love to take selfies in front of. The view is absolutely stunning up there. And I have a little bit of a picture of the menu, or at least part of the menu. I ended up ordering something that was very sweet because I had a lunch earlier, and I just kind of wanted to go for a dessert. The prices are not that bad, but they can be kind of high. So if you just get like a nice drink and maybe, for me, that's a Diet Coke. I love Diet Coke, so that's what I would pick. Look at that pool. I mean, it's just so, it reminds me of the Hollywood movies from the beach blanket bingo days, the colors and all of that. As I said, it's kitsch, and there's Dolly right there, and it's pink and it's black and white checkered, and it was just so fun, absolutely fun. There were disco balls inside of palms on the side. It was continually a surprise, a visual feast, and the service was wonderful. The colors, everything was just so cute. And I wanted you to see a little picture of Dolly right there. She was just right there, so gorgeous. I ended up ordering a peach cobbler, which was $8, and I absolutely enjoyed it. It was very, very, very good. And then I decided to go inside and kind of get an idea what it looked like, and it was so pretty, lined with mirrors on one hall, and the luxurious chair, seating, sofas. Everything was so perfectly put together. Even though you've got different patterns all over, they all harmonize so well. And as I said, you don't have to spend a ton of money to have a beautiful experience. Sometimes my husband and I will go to a theater in Nashville called the Belcourt. They are known for having classic movies. So we'll get a classic movie ticket, watch an old film, and something like this would be up our alley. We'd probably go up to a rooftop like that, have a coffee and a dessert. Modest, parking is free. Look at this place. If you're gonna go to a Denny's, which I love Denny's, Waffle House, love Waffle House, Cracker Barrel, love it. Why not go to some place that you probably wouldn't think about? Spend maybe a little less or a little more, but not a whole lot if you're smart about it. And this is the wall of fame of beautiful women, just cool women. I love that wall. Loved it. That was my favorite wall in the whole place, was the wall of women. The subtle pinks and the kitschiness of everything. I think for me, as I get older, I realize that I can have special experiences without losing my bank account, just using creativity. So we had the best time. We looked at some real Banksy art, had a beautiful stay, and then had a nice dessert. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe to my channel. I would love for you to join my group. Love you so much. Bye-bye.